We're live here soon. All right, we are live. All right, welcome. We're going to talk about the Indiana Pacers today, right now. And we're going to talk a little bit about kind of what they could do in the offseason, potential trades, moves, speculation, rumors, targets, all those different types of things. I'm talking about the Indiana Pacers and seeing kind of what they can do to retool this team. All right, so the first big move already happened with this Pacers team, and that was the hiring of Rick Carlisle. Rick Carlisle was the right coach, I think, for this team. I think he definitely is obviously an NBA champion as a head coach. It's a young team still. I mean, you look at some of these players, LeVert, Turner, Sabonis, and Brogdon. They've all played about 5-6 years in the league, and so they're young. And I think there's a lot of potential for them to be able to go farther in the playoffs than and because they have kind of your ideal like starting five. Like, this is a good starting five. I think some of it's coaching. I think some of it was a little bit of COVID last year, but it's a good team. They also did not have TJ Warren all of last year. They will this year. Lamb has been good for them. Karis LeVert in the trade of James Harden was also a great pickup for them. So it's going to be interesting to see what this team does moving forward, because I think their top 6 to 7 guys in the rotation are pretty solid as you get. There are 2 decisions that they will have to make, though, and let's take a look here at what they can do. So Doug McDermott is one player that they can look into, trying to extend. He and TJ McConnell are the 2 big decisions that the Pacers will face in the offseason. McConnell is interesting. He's an older player. He's 29. And he's a guy that I think everybody in the NBA would like to have. A good backup point guard who plays good. He's smart on offense. He's good, a great defender. While he doesn't have like super athletic upside or anything like that, I think he definitely has a place in the NBA as being kind of the grit and grind kind of player. So I like McConnell. He's actually one of the guys I look at and I'm like, I think he's a guy who should be valued a little bit more going into free agency. And I think there will be a team that might overpay him, but also I think he could just land with a contender as well. McDermott provides a lot of shooting. I think he also was able to put the ball on the floor a little bit better this year than how his recent years in the NBA had gone. I think he's a good scorer. Obviously there's questions on the defensive end, but McDermott, I think, is a good offensive player that can be a floor spacer, shoot the three, give you a little bit of offense. And so Rick Carlisle is actually on record with saying that he wants both of them back. We'll see if that happens. Obviously, this team, they don't have like a huge contract on their hands. You look at the money here, and all of them are under $20 million, which is pretty good, pretty solid. But yeah, the Pacers, they have an ability to maybe make a trade. I just think they're going to roll with this team and say, we're going to roll with the same team. We have a new coach, build the culture, and be able to kind of move from there. Taking a look right now is their draft picks. Right now, again, I think Indiana is a playoff team. I think they're going to be a team that is very solid, and I think they're going to be pretty interesting to kind of see how their season goes. And I'll put some stock. I'll throw some shares for. Buy some shares, I should say. I'll buy some shares of the Indiana Pacers this season because I think they'll do better than what they were last year. So that being said, I still don't think this is a team that's going to like contend. They don't have a star. I don't know what gets them a star. But I do think they're a very good team that could, advance to the second round and compete. But ultimately, I do think in the East next year, it is the Milwaukee Bucks and the Brooklyn Nets that are going to kind of battle it out next season as far as the East goes. And I just don't know if Indiana has enough talent. They have depth. They have really good depth, but I don't know if they have the kind of cornerstone piece kind of a star that can be able to kind of lift them over the top. All right, so Indiana, that's Indiana. I think I covered most of what I wanted to talk about there. Let's look at rumors. Rumors are always fun. Let's look at the Pacers. And let's see what we got here. Sacramento may view Montrezl Harrell as a replacement for Rashawn Holmes, who is headed towards free agency. Scotto reiterates the Mavericks, Hornets, and Raptors are among teams likely to enter the bidding for Holmes. He adds the Lakers offered Kuzma and the 22nd choice to the Pacers for pick number 13 and salary filler, but Indiana turned it down. Interesting. I did not know about that. The Lakers offered Kuzma and the 22 pick to the Pacers for number 13 and a salary filler. So the salary filler would have been what? Kuzma's... Let's just quickly look at this here. Again, I think the Lakers still kind of operate as an over-the-cap team because they have so many cap holds. So what would that have been? They said the trade would have been Kuzma. So Kuzma's making 13. So it would have had to been like TJ Warren. So TJ Warren to get up to 13. That's interesting. That's actually, I don't know if I agree for that with the Lakers. That's not a move that I would make or a trade that I would try to do if I was the Lakers. So interesting. A little interesting there. I did not know that. Spurs and the Pacers are making 12 and 13 available. Cam Thomas was worked out by the Pacers. Pacers are more likely to retain TJ McConnell than Doug McDermott in free agency in August. J. Michael suggests that the Indiana is likely to rescind McConnell, but probably lose McDermott due to his escalating price tag following a career year. If the Pacers bring back McConnell, it may affect what the team does with Aaron Holiday. The 24-year-old point guard, who is entering the final year of his rookie contract, has been hoping for a change of scenery since the 2021 trade deadline. He could emerge as a trade candidate again in the offseason. Interesting. That's Aaron Holiday. Pacers have discussed Turner deal with the Warriors. Pacers to hold pre-draft workout. Pacers have talked about a deal that could send Miles Turner to the Warriors, Kevin O'Connor of The Ringer said in a recent podcast with Chris Vernon. I don't know how that would work exactly. I mean, Turner makes, so looking at the cap number here, Turner makes like 18. So again, because the Warriors are over the cap, I believe it has to be dollar for dollar. Meaning they would sign and trade Oubre. I don't know. I don't see that one exactly. Cavaliers, Pacers training for Pacers are another team that has interest in Ben Simmons. Cooper mentioned the majors and also Gennaro Pargo was added to the Rick Carlisle stats. Yeah, Warriors, Kings, Pacers all looking to maybe move their lottery picks. Although the Pacers are continually working out guys. So interesting. So yeah, I didn't know about that Kuzma trade. Apparently the Lakers were trying to get Kuzma to Indiana for what would have probably been TJ Warren and the 13th pick. So interesting. As far as a trade candidate for this team, maybe TJ Warren, just because he is, he comes off a season where he's hurt. Does a team really want that? Does a team want Jeremy Lamb? Maybe. But other than that, I don't see a Sabonis trade. Obviously Miles Turner is kind of the elephant in the room with, potential trade. But I just ultimately think that they probably stand put. And Carlisle goes and leads this team to the playoffs, and they do good that way. That will end the stream for the Indiana Pacers. Next, we are actually going to talk about the Boston Celtics. So stay tuned. We will talk about the Boston Celtics coming up and go from there.